One among the most challenges people are facing when they are applying for the DV lotteries is taking the photos for their little babies or toddlers. How are you going to take that type of photo? You know, it is very challenging. Let's say 5 days, 1 month old, 3 month old, 6 month old. How are you going to take a photo of a baby, and that photo must meet the requirements of the DV lottery? Or rather, sometimes how are you going to take the photo to meet the requirement of the passport in other ways? Let's say if you have to travel, the baby is 2 months old. How are you going to take a photo, the photo which will be put into the passport? Welcome everyone, this is EBM Wellness Professor Makulilo, and you are welcome again to the EBM Scholars as we are continuing to find different ways on how we can make the new DV lottery easier, not making any mistakes, because I've seen many people are making so much mistakes, especially when submitting the photos of toddlers or photos of babies. They end up, some people even not applying, they are not including their babies because they failed or have difficulties into how can I go and make a photo of a baby? The baby is born in October and they have to apply in October. How can I do that? So there are a few things, first of all, before I give you the techniques and the proper ways on how you can do that. There are a few things, as I said, is when you are taking the photo also must meet the same requirement. The photo is not supposed to be full, it's supposed to be halfway, like normal. The child must be opening the eyes. The child is not supposed to close the eyes, no matter how old is the child. The child is not supposed to be, no, it's just whatever. So it's part of those, but how can you position your child to take the photo? So there are different ways. One of the way which I used myself, I will explain that one and I will show what other recommended ways. The way which I used myself was, we were taking the passport for Faustina, and Faustina was still very, very young. I was less than 6 months at the time we were applying for her passport. So in order to get the passport, 6 months old, she's not even sitting. So one of the way we did was we had the background which is white. In the US, the passport photo is white. So let's say this is the passport which is white. So what I did was I carried the baby. Let me show you just like a position. So let's say this is the baby. So what I did was carrying the baby like this way, holding the baby like on the legs and raising this way. But the photographer was over there, took the photo from here and up. That means you can take the photo at the above and the background here is white, and that is what we are managing to do that. And this is the example of what I'm trying to explain. What happened is this way. So this is one of the technique which we used to make sure that we get the correct photo for the baby. Do you have any question on that position? So that is position number one. You see, you can be able to take that photo without any problem. The second position, which you can be able to use, which is also recommended by the DV instructions, which also when you go to get the passport here in the US for the toddlers or the babies, that's always recommended. Let's say the child is still very young, still sitting in the car seat. What you need to do is to make sure that you take a white cloth or white sheet, you put on top of your car seat and take the child, lay down on the car seat, and then you take a picture. The child is laying or sitting like in the same car seat position, but you don't put the seat belt. You just put the car seat, but the car seat is covered by a white cloth. So that means you can take the picture. The child is sitting there in the car seat. So this is what I'm trying to explain. Do you see? That is how the child is supposed to look, and you can be able to take the photo that way. That is second way. The third way, which this is a funny one. I have to laugh. So the guy, what you do, you yourself, you take like this is the white piece number one. You can do that way, but you can yourself, you can cover yourself, your face, like everything, like you put a sheet in front of yourself which is white, and then you put the baby on your lap, but you carry them, you hold the baby. So still you carry the baby, you hold the baby this way, but behind you, yourself, you are white, and the background is white. So they take the picture, even if they can be able to see you, but still is white. So it's white sheet, so it cannot affect. It's very funny how it looks. So you see the guy how he's doing. That is how you can be able to do, and that you can get the perfect photo. So that is the other way you can be able to do that way. That is the third way. So don't tell you, oh, I cannot take the photo. The fourth way of how you can take the photo of the toddler or the baby, what you do, you can put the sheet on the floor or the mattress, whatever you want to do, and then you lie the baby like completely is lying down, and you take the photo from up down like this way. So the baby is lying this way. Let's say this is the baby, and then he's laying this way. Then you take a photo from here, but remember the bed sheet or the cover or the floor is supposed to be white. So that will be something. You need to take more photos so that you can make sure that when you are going to crop the photo, that means you can get the perfect photo. So this is some of the examples. Like, so even if the child is opening the arms, but if you come to do cropping, you can be able to get the good photo. Okay, another one. You see, those are some of the technique you can be able to do. So those are some of the ways you can be able to do. So this is what I've been explaining, like to be careful which photo are acceptable, which are not acceptable. You see the baby is closing the eyes like sleeping, the baby is like opening the mouth, whatever. So see like some which are acceptable, which are not acceptable. You see, don't make sure the child is not looking sideways. Try, I know it is hard taking more photos, the child to look in front. Make sure that the parent, you don't put the hand, like you are not visible. If you want to put the hand behind, make sure your hand is in white, like you cannot be able to see. Background must be white, eyes must be open. Yeah, so those are some of the ways. So more of this one, like showing you the mistakes. The parent is in, you can be able to see the parent. The other one, the child is looking sideways. So those are some of the things which you make sure that you avoid all those kind of things. So those are the ways on how you can be able to take a photo of a baby. Remember, if you start like making crazy, closing the eyes, don't make anything can be able to be used against you. Avoid any unnecessary mistake. I know it is hard. Take your time, make these videos as soon as possible. I mean, take the photos, be ready for application. And I know there are some people, they are not in their countries. Maybe they're in Saudi Arabia, then they are in Oman, they're in another country, or they're in another city, their spouse, they're in another city, they have the baby. Make sure that you send this video or you give these photos. You just go and find the photos, like explaining how they can be able to take these photos. Don't lose the opportunity because of the simple mistakes. You will be coming to regret them. So thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye. Remember to subscribe to YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBM Scholars.